Please welcome Creative Director of Known Creative, Seth Hoffman, who has been building Squarespace websites since 2015. Welcome, Seth.
All right, we are all here because we are building websites and web solutions for our clients, and I want to empower you to make them buckets of money. That is my goal. My name is Seth. I am the founder of Known Creative, and I started building websites in 2007, but it wasn't until 2015 that I found Squarespace. And honestly, the developer community is one of my favorite things about Squarespace, so I feel so honored that I get to be a part of this and to meet so many people that I've learned from over the years. We've built hundreds of websites for clients using Squarespace, and one of the things that we learned along the way was that if you weren't clear, you weren't going to sell any products. I'm also the father of 4 boys, and I learned that if I'm not clear, literally nothing gets done in my house. So it's very important to me both personally and professionally. And today I'm going to talk about the problem that our clients are facing, how clarity is the way to convert more people online, and then focus in on some of the fundamentals that make that possible. Einstein said, if I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about the solutions. A lot of times clients come to me and they're very discouraged about the conversion rate on their website. They're getting maybe a lot of traffic, but they're pulling their hair out because it's not actually turning into money. And they often jump to conclusions and they say, we need to rework our product. There's an issue with our product. We need to change that and then we'll convert. Sometimes that's true, but often that's not the problem. They might say, we need to move from this social ad platform to that social platform. And again, sometimes that's true, but in general, I've found 90% of our clients, that is not their biggest problem. Their biggest problem is that they are not being clear and compelling about their offer and the benefit that comes with it. And what I've found is that if you aren't clear, you won't convert. If you aren't clear, you won't convert. And it is our responsibility as web designers to help our clients to be as clear as possible about their amazing products, the benefits that those products bring on their website. Clarity doesn't happen by accident. To really achieve that beauty and simplicity of clarity, it requires a lot of intentionality, and that's where professionals like us can really help our clients to succeed. If you aren't clear, you won't convert. Of course, none of my clients actually want to hear this. They all disagree. They say, no, there's something else that's going on. My customers should understand. It's so obvious. My coworkers, my colleagues, they all understand. Why don't my clients, or why don't my customers? Are my customers just stupid? Sometimes that is the truth. But it's not our customers' job to be smart enough to buy our products. It's our job to be so clear that they are throwing money at our clients. That's why they've hired us, to help them hone in and clarify their offer, their benefit, and how someone can do business with them. That is our responsibility. So if you remember anything from today, just remember, if you aren't clear, you won't convert. And I've found that the key to succeeding in clarifying one's message is by focusing on fundamentals. If you ever meet someone who is great at something, they are great at the fundamentals. I'm a huge NBA fan. Steph Curry is so great, and it's easy to think, oh, he can just hit any shot from anywhere, which is true. But if you watch him practice, he is focused on the fundamentals, and he's got the best handle, the best dribbling skills that you can imagine. Focusing on the fundamentals is key to succeed in anything. For your website, there are 3 ways that you need to hit an absolute home run for your clients if you want to convert more visitors into customers. You have just a handful of seconds to make sure that all 3 of these things are crystal clear so that people come running with their money. The first thing is the offer, the second is the benefit, and the third is the action. So first of all, the offer. Whatever our offer is for our clients, we need to make sure that it is clear and recognizable. We are a digital marketing agency, so we offer a lot of different services to our clients, but digital marketing agency is so vague. Does anyone even really define that well? I don't know if we could get a consensus here in this room. Most of our clients don't know anything about digital marketing. So if we led with the fact that we are a digital marketing agency, it would go over most people's heads. what people come to us for is a website. And that's really where we meet most of our clients first. That's our first touch point with them and the first way that we're able to help them grow. So we highlight that. When you come to our website, come to us, you're going to get an awesome website. One of our clients is called the Color Coded Chef, and they are an amazing business that helps intellectually, developmentally delayed adults and children to become more self-sufficient, especially in the kitchen. But when they came to us, their website felt more like a blog than it did as an e-commerce site. There was so much empty space. They did have a product photo, but it was really unclear that you could just come and buy it. It looked more like a review. There was no buy now button, and the visual hierarchy was just very cluttered and unclear. So when we started working with them, we wanted to get rid of that vague messaging. We have a lot of clarity here about the Color Code Chef and who they empower and work with. And then having a big visual of people enjoying using the products really just brings it home. And of course, the Shop Now button. We have to be clear with our offer. But the second thing is that we need to be clear with the benefit. Like, why would people buy this product? What is it about this product that is going to make their lives better? When we did some research about our clients, we found that most of them who came to work with us had had a really bad experience with another agency in the past. The project had taken much too long. There were deliverables that weren't actually delivered. And after the project, they got this fun little surprise invoice that they weren't expecting. And that was one of the major reasons why they didn't hire another agency. So what we wanted to lead with, the benefit, was that if you work with us, there are no surprises. You just get an awesome website. And we focus in that delivery of it on our project management, clarity, timelines, all those good things. That was the benefit that we led with. One of our clients is Paramount Pools. They are based in Northern Virginia in the DC area. And as you can imagine, they sell pools. And it was clear with just the picture that was on their website before, but a pool can be a bit of a commodity. And they had a hard time differentiating themselves from other competitors in the area. And so what we worked with them on was really defining how they don't just sell a pool, they sell a backyard paradise. But more than that, it's a backyard paradise made easy. There's a lot of fear when you start a new construction project. People are worried about the investment, the timeline. Will the contractors ever come to start it? And so they said, no, we build backyard paradises and we do it easy. We make it easy. And of course, the get a quote button. And I keep emphasizing the get a quote button because you would be so surprised I'm going to give you a challenge. Now, when you're on a website, always think through, if I was going to do business with this company, how would I do it? What is the next step that I need to take? There are a shocking number of websites that are super unclear about the next step that someone needs to take. And that shop now, that buy now button is basically the print money button on someone's website. It needs to be succinct. It needs to make it so that people can't miss it. On our website, we have book a call as our real transaction. It gets people kind of into our marketing funnel. They book a time with me and we can discuss their project. We had a client named Vanessa Joy Walker, who is a speaker and author around issues of trauma and healing. And she had a lot of great content on her website, but the hierarchy, again, was super unclear and vague. She has a lot of different navigation items, a couple of small buttons, and it was unclear what someone needed to do. If they were inspired by her, how could they take that next right action? And so what we did with her, again, was clarifying visually with the hierarchy of the typography, making sure that people knew exactly what she was doing, and then a clear call to action on every page. For her, it was about getting people into her marketing funnel by having them download her flow forward video. That was the key transaction that she wanted to have happen on the website. So that was the key call to action that we brought about. We need to focus on fundamentals. We need to hit a home run with a clear offer, a clear benefit, and a clear next action that they should take, because if we aren't clear, we won't convert. And it's our responsibility as web designers to set our clients up for success so they can make as much money as possible. My name is Seth. I'd love to continue the conversation, so you can find me at beknown.nyc, and appreciate being able to speak here.